All right, guys, I've got a hutch up there. Y'all see it? That is amazing. I don't know what it's going to be yet. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Adventure Archaeology. If you're new to the channel, my name is Brandon, and today we're going to be headed out into the backwoods of Alabama in search of valuable antique bottles. Some bottles here in the state of Alabama can be worth thousands of dollars. So if you're not subscribed, please be sure to reach right down there, hit the subscribe button, and without any further ado, let's get out on this adventure and see what we can find. All right, guys, at the creek, and I am in a mosquito swarm. I don't know if y'all can see it, but they are swarming me like crazy. The water is right there. We're gonna head down there and go see if we can find some bottles. So I'm gonna try to get out of this shaded spot and away from these mosquitoes and down there in the water, and hopefully the mosquitoes will let up. It's daggum November. I don't know why they're still out. All right, guys, I know y'all can't tell how deep I am, but right here I'm at about 3.5, almost 4 foot. I'm pretty deep, and I spotted something down in the bottom, and thankfully I have my potato fork with me and I raked it out. And this is actually a pretty cool find. Check this out. It's complete. And I'm trying to make it out. It looks like there's H's and W's and all kinds of cool stuff on that side. It's definitely old and it's complete. This is one of the first complete dishes of this age that I've ever found. My wife is gonna have a fit over this. There is no maker's mark on the bottom. I was hoping that there would be where I could identify it, but those age cracks are a dead giveaway that this thing is right in the age bracket of what we're looking for. Some of that stuff, man, I don't know what that is. That's some funny looking signs on there. It looks like Native American. See, that looks like a bull. I thought I saw something that looked like an Omega sign almost. I don't know what this is. It's really cool though, and it's really old. So we'll do a little bit of research, see what we can come up with, or if y'all know, drop a comment below if you know anything about this dishware. That is a really good sign as to what may actually be out here today. The water is beautiful and clear, and I'm thankful for that, but it is chilly. So let's see if we can find anything else. Just found this really nice piece to a butter churn. Let's see if I can get it where y'all can see the color of it. It's kind of a greenish brown color. Almost looks salt glazed. But man, that would have been super nice if that would have been whole. Got a nice jug top. That'd have been like a little half-gallon. It almost looks like a recent break too. Makes me think that maybe the flood got it. Got to beat this cloud though, so I'm gonna get back to walking. I'm honestly not sure if it gets much more prettier than this. Let's take a look at how nice and serene that is. Aside from the road traffic. I was thinking about it might be nice to take a kayak trip down through here, but right here looks kind of rocky. And that also means that I'm going to stop right here because more than likely any bottles that were above this would be shattered. So time to head to the next spot. Look at how clear that water is. You wouldn't know that that's 3.5 foot deep right here. I'm gonna go right over there by that log, and the reason for that is during the summertime, a lot of times bottle hunters will avoid stuff like that log jam because they're scared of snakes. And so I'm hoping that maybe they overlooked a ton of bottles over there, and I'm gonna spend a lot of time kind of just combing around that area in hopes that nobody's been looking around that at all this year. All right, I can see a couple of bottles right here. Let's see if this one's got anything embossed on it. I can see that the heel is gone already. Nothing on that one. There's a cream jar. Would have had some kind of makeup or something in it. Nice old whiskey neck right there. Looks like there's going to be another piece to a soda right here. That would have been a Birmingham, Alabama hobble skirt, but I can't tell the age on it because where the date code is gone. And there's another cream jar. So for those of you that are new to the channel, what I do is I pick up all the glass, I put it in little piles, and every time I walk up, I've got to walk back. And whenever I walk back, I pick up the glass so I don't leave it in the creek. So far this year, we have removed right around 800 pounds of broken glass from the creeks. So that's pretty cool, guys. Just do a little bitty part as to how much trash is actually out here. I know there's a lot more, but the glass is what could hurt the people that swim, fish, and kayak in this area. So we try to get it out of here. I'm hopeful, by seeing as much glass as what I'm seeing right now, that right up there, there's a little bit of a hot spot that there's gonna be some more bottles. So let's get on up there. All right, guys, I've got a hutch up there. Y'all see it? That is amazing. I don't know what it's gonna be yet. Okay, yeah, I do. I think that's gonna be an elk. Let's see. I'm debating on whether or not to use, I guess I'm just gonna use that. No, I'm not going to. It could break. I'm just trying to keep from dropping my potato fork. Oh, that water's freezing, I can tell y'all that. Look at that. Boom. Hutch time with the original stopper still inside. It does have the PPW on the bottom, so that's not the rare one. But holy mackerel, guys. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Right here. Not probably 100 yards from where we walked just a month ago. It just shows you how much the rain really helps. And I am full-blown ecstatic to have that, guys. It doesn't look like there's going to be any damage. I'm excited that the stopper's in there. The lip looks like it's in good shape. The heel's in good shape. And let's clear it off where y'all can take a look at the elk. Golly, it's going to be a good day, guys. It's going to be a good day. Let's keep going. See if we can find another one. So one of the things that I rarely share is whenever I hit a deep pocket in the creek, there's a whole lot of getting out and up a bank and then trekking through the woods to the next shallow spot. Now, I've never been down this far, so this is all virgin woods to me. And one of the things you have to be really careful for in Alabama are exposed mine shafts, as the majority of the areas that I hunt are all old mining towns. Now, I saw some old cross ties back there, which could have been a railway or a small railway for the little trolley cars they used. And I actually hit a secondary creek that I didn't know was back here. So we're gonna do a little bit of walking, and I'll turn the camera back on if I start to find some glass. We're just gonna do some walking with the camera running live. This is a smaller creek off of the one creek that I was on. And this one right here is cold, guys. This is actually coming out of the side of a mountain. So it's cold during the summer, but it's much cold during the fall and winter. Much more cold. I'm very hopeful that we're gonna find something. You can hear the acorns falling in the water, hitting pieces of metal behind me. Hope y'all don't mind the silence. My voice is trying to go out a little bit, so I may not talk a whole lot unless we find something. Some kind of case. Feels heavy. Try to move it over here to the shallow water. It's probably going to be a fisherman's tackle box, but we'll double check. Oh. Yep, that's exactly what it is. I don't know if there's anything in it though. We'll set it on the side over here and get it on the way back out. Hang it in the roots. Make it where I don't have to double dip and go back in for it. The sediment has really built up, but I'm sinking about 4 to 6 inches every footstep into just the piled up leaves in the bottom of the creek. So there may be a lot of bottles that I'm walking over. Have to wait on another really good rainstorm. But after that hutch and that dish that I found, there's no way that I'm just gonna stop now. Boy, that's just, water's just so clear, guys. Keep hearing something up there. I guess it's a squirrel. This spot right here, if you look down, you can see that the leaves are kind of dispersed. There's more rocks exposed. This is kind of the areas that I'm looking for on this smaller creek in hopes that I can actually see the bottom where a bottle would have washed up. I kind of murked the big creek up, and that's why I took this side branch, is to give it time to settle. I'll go back and walk upstream on it here in a few, but after I found that hutch, I just kind of did some spirals out from the area where I found it to make sure that nothing else had piled up in that general area. I've noticed that that's one thing about glass, is it likes to congregate in certain sections of the creeks. And once you learn those sections, you kind of know where to look every time you go back. You just learn the area as you work it through the years. It's a pretty good sized tree right there. Mosquitoes are starting to come back. You have to walk a little bit faster. And this creek's weird. There's not a lot of broken glass, but all of a sudden there'll be a whole bottle. And don't get me wrong, there's still stuff in here, like right there. There's a no deposit piece. That would have been off of like a Mountain Dew or a Sprite or something, but there's just not near the same amount of concentration as there is on the main creek, because there was probably more people on that main creek through the years than there was on these back branches. This tree right here fell since the last time I was here, and I guess that might be where the majority of these leaves that I see are coming from. That's kind of another pro tip if you're walking creeks, is always look for the trees that have fell. Even though it may not be in the water, like this one right here fell up on the bank, everywhere that the limbs touch the water, it changes the current and the flow of the creek, which causes more of the bottom to erode and more bottles to become exposed. My wife is going to be upset. She wasn't able to come out with me today after that hutch and that dish. But she was actually in a car accident. She was rear-ended this week, and it has really thrown both of us off schedule. I was supposed to be working today and ended up needing to take a day off to be able to go do some of the insurance stuff. Let's see what that is. Some kind of glass salad dressing, maybe? It's a big old dirt pile. We'll just kind of leave that there. Put that no deposit piece down too and grab it on the way back. And y'all keep y'all's eyes peeled as well, because it's very possible that I'll walk over something. And if y'all say, hey, you walked over one, I'll try to rush back and get it after the Friday release. I'm going to try to get 20-minute videos, even if I have to do longer stretches like I'm doing right now, with the video being about 7 or 8 minutes being uncut and edited. Just because I've had a lot of people tell me how much they enjoy the longer videos. There's a golf ball. Every time I see one of those, I think about EA. There's a little stream coming in right there, and that's what let that tree fall that we just walked under. The root base was like right underneath that little stream, which just let it get a little bit weakened as it was moist, and down she went. I'm not going to go much further on this small creek. I'm gonna turn around in just a minute. Right up here it kind of opens up, and in the bend of it out of the woods I've done pretty good in the past, so I'm gonna walk that little stretch at least. Y'all see how all of the ground is kind of rooted up right there? I'm not positive, but if I had to guess, that felt like a bottle I was standing on. If it was, I'll see it whenever I come back because I just kicked it up. That right there is probably wild pigs. We do have boar problems here, just like most of the southern states do, and they cause erosion. That's what that looks like to me. I could be wrong. Gonna see if I can see any hoof prints. I don't see any right off. I'm seeing some footprints right here, which makes me think I might be getting into an area where somebody has already walked. If that's the case, that's okay, because I didn't quite make it as far as I did where I found that hutch. There's a piece to a soda right there. I can't tell what it would have been or where it was from. There's no markings on the top or the bottom. Oh, I'm sorry, on the base or the heel. That's okay. Man, those acorns falling are nuts. That sounds awesome, doesn't it? I could hang a hammock up right here and sleep. I may have to wait for this stretch right here to get another really good rainstorm to wash these leaves out one more time. I usually don't walk here until around January, but our rain has been kind of limited, and I've hit most of my good creeks already. So today I had to improvise a bit, and that I did. And it worked out for the benefit. That's usually the good days. And a lot of people always wonder, I've had a lot of people in the comments ask me about my creeks and stuff like that. And what it is I've got about 5 creeks that I work on a circuit that are within an hour of where I live. And I try to hit 1 a week, sometimes 2 a week to get video content, and I rotate. That's why y'all see me find some of the same bottles a lot of times. I mean, if you live in Birmingham, Alabama, you're gonna find a lot of Birmingham, Alabama stuff. You know, just like if you lived in Dallas, Texas, you'd find a lot of Dallas, Texas stuff. Without traveling out of those areas and into, say, like a more northern or southern region, that's just kind of how it works. Now, occasionally we do get on a spot that's close to a railroad track or where an old school was or something like that, that has the out-of-state bottles and out-of-state relics. And those are always fun, but it's difficult because I don't know a ton about bottles that aren't in the state of Alabama. I mean, in Birmingham alone, there was several hundred bottles. So that in itself is enough to try to keep up with that, much let alone throw in more states that all had thousands and thousands of bottles. I don't think that there's going to be anybody that's a general expert on all bottles in the US. So right here is going to be the open stretch. I'm going to turn the camera off. We'll turn it back on when we get back out on the main creek here in just a second. All right, guys, this was an interesting day. This bowl right here, I had no clue what it was. I reached out to some folks to see if they could help me identify it. Between my wife and the Facebook group, I was informed that these are actually zodiac symbols or something to do with astrology. So that's pretty cool. I had no idea on it. It's definitely old. You can tell by those age cracks. So I did a little bit of research, and it seems like it was a type of basin. It could have been used in a religious ceremony, or it could have just been something that somebody had laying around their house. Regardless, I very rarely find a complete bowl or dishware of this age, so I was excited to have it. So between that and hutch, it was a fantastic day. If you are not subscribed, please reach down there and hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys in next week's adventure.